Hey, it's me, Puppet DM, and I'm here to tell you all about the sponsors we have here at the Wandering Society. We're sponsored here by VtM Press, makers of a bunch of 5th edition supplements, like the Book of Kobold or their series of new classes. And don't forget, Arcmada, the amazing sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for the world's greatest role-playing game. Be sure to check them out at store.magenpress.com. Up next, we have Roll20. It's the platform we use here at the Wandering Society to play all of our games. It's easy to use, intuitive, and it now comes with dark mode. Be sure to check them out at roll20.net. We're also sponsored by R. Talsorian Games. R. Talsorian Games make great RPGs, and they've been doing so since the early 90s. Check their books. They've got Cyberpunk Red, which Simon tells me has been played here extensively, Castle Falkenstein, which also has been played here, and The Witcher, which has also been. Okay, we get it! Check them out at your FLGS or online at rtalsoriangames.com. Have you ever wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut.
Good evening. The Masquerade. This paramount law of the kindred world upon which their collective existence hangs. Without it, mortals would have long rid the world of the supernatural parasites that are the vampires. A few years ago, a joint operation by international governmental agencies saw to it that Montreal would be free from its parasites. Unbeknownst to them, the number of vampires flocking in to fill in the void left behind by Operation First Light is only swelling. But with it comes the threat of a breach of Masquerade. It is up to our coterie to find a solution, and fast. Yet, most of the damned in the city could not be bothered to help. At least, not as much as our kindred would like. I'm Simon, at Wandering DM, and I'll be your storyteller for tonight. Now, let's continue on with our story, shall we? Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 2 of Montreal by Night, our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. Before we delve back into our narrative, let's just go around the table and introduce our cast. Cast that you got to meet in last week's premiere. We'll go left to right on the overlay, beginning with Trooper. Hi, who are you and who are you playing?
Hello, I am Trooper SJP, and I'm a streamer, and I am playing Lucky St. Clair, Lucky Dixon, or Desmond, more than one name. You know how it is. When you live a long time, you need to sometimes have more than one name. You can call me Lucky. And Lucky is a Bruja who lives in Montreal and who is not popular with either the Camarilla or the Anarchs. And that's me.
Indeed, up next we have Deirdre.
Hello, everyone. You know me. I'm at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter, or Praxagora Thesmiophores as you see me around here on Twitch, and I get to play our wonderful, friendly Flory Winters. She doesn't believe in having only more than one last name. It's not necessary. You can just keep one. As long as it's generic. Doesn't matter. And she is here to do a murder.
As it's been repeated often during our previous episode. And last but not least amongst our coterie, Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here, Pope World on Twitter, Pope World on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams, and today I get to be back with this fantastic crew with some more vampire playing Arthur Porter. Both of us use he, her pronouns, and there's a lot of work to get done, and not a lot of time to do it now.
Now last night for you was this emergency meeting of, well, whoever wanted to be there, really. Can't really say a who's who of the kindred of Montreal, but more a who was or might have been concerned by the issue of a video proving the existence of vampires leaking into the Kine community. You've interrogated at length young Alex Simard, Thinblood, actually Montreal's only Thinblood at the moment. Spoke to a few of the other kindred that were present, Yuma, Valois, and Diana, and Betty. Which we all know how that went. After this reunion, you all have, well, returned to your haven, head full of thoughts, opinions, fears about what's happening. Some of you have pointed out that this could very well be a conspiracy, the machination of a kindred far away. I should say K-Knight in this case, far away. We'll see how this develops. You have with you, I'll remind you, you have investigated the DVD case that the film came on. You have also been made aware of another video that seems to have been not really related, but that was taken right across the street from Silvio's.
And it was theoretically the reason for this meeting in the first place, since that other video we've known about for a couple of months.
Exactly. Well, why the meeting was last night. Because the meeting would have happened at some point anyway. but it was made all the more urgent by that second video.
Hmm.
The Kindred of Montreal seem to believe that, perhaps they believe that any new vague footage that comes out is a potential breach as well. And as the sun sets over Montreal on this warm summer night, we find the three of you rousing from slumber.
May I make my hunting roll for last night?
I believe that you have a herd, don't
I
you?
do. I do.
Yes. So your hunting roll is... I have to go get it. Hunting. And your herd... Do you have the difficulty with you right now? Otherwise, I'll keep looking.
I will look it up. While this is going, I will look it up.
I'm actually looking it up at the moment.
Oh, I can slake my herd hunger rating each week without a roll.
Okay, so do you want to use your
Just one.
roll less
Yeah.
feeding?
Yeah. I have a herd of 2, so I'll just slake 1.
Okay.
So that it is, There we go.
How big is your herd? 2, you said. So 4 to 7 vessels, half of whom share one resonance that you pick when you buy
Yes.
Disadvantage.
Yes.
Which resonance do you have? for
My
them?
resonance is, I believe it is choleric. I have a bunch
Choleric.
of a bunch of ice hockey players
Yeah.
who are I've got a
They've got some pent up toxic masculinity.
they do. As a matter of fact, they do. And
do you feed from one such choleric individual?
I have I tend to feed from a very close sort of group of people. I'm not particularly random, and I have a good relationship with my community, but that's not really anything that anyone needs to know about. Don't you think?
It's better if it stays secret.
Better if it does.
By the way, your herd doesn't live with you at your haven, so you are tonight stopping at, I believe, the
Some of them do.
Oh, okay.
But some of them do, some of them don't.
As roommates or as just other tenants in the same?
I live in a home with, let's say, my mother and my brother. Let's say that. That's what the people in the neighborhood think, at least.
And out of curiosity, what does your home look like?
Well,
What does it feel like?
it's nice. It is comfortable. It is a place with a lot of mementos. Many of them are not mine. Driftwood, a piece of this or that, old homes, windows, window frames. There are a lot of it's a fishing pole. It's not a very large place, really. It's actually quite small, and it has got. We have basements, right? In Montreal.
Unless your home was built before the 1930s, you're almost guaranteed to have a basement.
So it's small. It's I can tell you because you're the storyteller and you won't spread this about. It's in North Montreal, and there's a small basement. It's a very small place, and an older woman lives there, and her two sons. And my place is in the basement. I'm the second son, of course. And I have a place in the basement. There's a church pew that I sit in at times. There is, I have a lot of mementos. I've got hockey sticks. I'm a collector, shall we say, of memorabilia. My room is full of ice hockey memorabilia from decades past. I'm interested in that sort of a thing. Just photographs of different teams from different time periods. I'm a bit of a historian, so there are a lot of photographs of the Canadian Colored Hockey League from the 20s and 30s, and jerseys. And the pew is from a church that doesn't exist anymore, that's been torn down. But there are newspaper articles here and there, little things, carved little what do you call them? Like in a ship, you'd have a figurehead, but much smaller. Like carved wooden things that I spend time doing. And the house is like quilted blankets, and it's very a lot of things that are made by oneself, that one has done by themselves. And it always smells, if when we're going to breathe, it always smells very nice. It's kind of a place that reminds you of maybe the Maritimes, seafood, and it's a really it's a lovely place. It's very small, and I always make sure. I mean, my domain is not here. If people were going to look for me, they would not look for me here. This is not a place for that.
No, this is a sanctuary for the day.
Yes. Yeah. But of course, in the beginning of the evening, I also always go to the rink because I have a job. One has to pay one's way. And so, of course, before I go and meet up with my compatriots, I do spend time coaching.
And it is at this arena tonight that you have slaked your hunger on one.
I would have slaked because of one of my other dark secrets. I would have slaked with my brother before we got to the arena. Who is also
yes, because you feed from your family.
I do. I do. Theoretically, not that anyone can prove.
No. I'm just allegedly.
I mean, allegedly. That's allegedly, yes. But my herd is a little bit larger, so if necessary, I always can. I've got a bunch of athletes who are, you know how they are. They've got a lot of toxic masculinity, and they like to shoot pucks, get into brawls. They've got to work on their control, but we can work on technique.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
You've fed your fill. Actually, your hunger, I believe last night was at 3, correct?
2.
2. Oh, yes, 2, because it only rose by 1.
Yeah.
So it goes back down to 1.
Right.
And then, of course, should you need to use the Blush of Life, perhaps you will need to.
Well,
feed again.
We look like corpses if we don't Blush of Life. So we want to be in public and not look
depends. It depends on your
humanity.
Humanity, yeah.
If it's under 9, you look like a dead corpse. If it's 9, you look sick.
And I don't believe that you are over 9.
No. Yeah.
So can you give me a rouse check?
Absolutely. Because if you're going to be around mortals, you don't really want to look like a rotting corpse. Let me add 1 new hunger. Oh, it's already done.
Dice rolled, yes, when you hunger. So as much as you felt, actually you activated Blush of Life before feeding. And after doing so, you still feel that pang in your stomach, that desire for just one more. It's like playing Civilization, but with human lives. Like, just one more person. Just one more. I'll stop. But, your guys have to go on the ice. They have to practice tonight.
Yes.
Fall is approaching, and with it, the season will start soon. Actually, we were in early August, so I believe the start of the season is like in a couple of weeks.
Yeah. We've got a lot of practice to do. We want to be good this year.
Yeah. You don't want them to be a little too anemic to play.
No. But also, I want them to be good.
Of course.
They're young. Maybe this year. Who knows?
Maybe this year is your year.
Maybe. Yeah, I might get lucky. Also, it'd be good for them. They need something.
They do. Everyone deserves a win sometimes. Even after years of... Where was I going with that? Brain fog, oh my god. Oh, yes. Everyone deserves a win sometimes. Even after years of woes and betrayal and troubles. Right, Arthur? I'm talking about Val, of course.
Of course we are.
You rouse from slumber tonight. Remind me, how hungry were you last night?
Not very.
I believe you were
Just
the only one who, yeah. Do you seek to feed before going about your business?
I'll have a Capri Sun. With some bagged blood.
Mm-hmm. That's a question I have for you. So as you make your way to your fridge, we all know that you have, well, we all know, us here, we all know that you have a quite spacious haven, but would you mind just telling our viewers who are here for the first time, or will see it for the first time, what does it look like?
It looks like a space that has been just recently moved into. There are still boxes about, many labels, empty shelves, and that's scattered throughout the upper few floors. But where we find Arthur is in the basement. As that is much more well appointed. Not fully moved into, but almost there. As he gets up and then walks down hallway in the basement to a surgical suite. And passes by the operating theater and to one of those, how do they put it, 6 body freezers, and opens the chest and just pulls out a blood bag has a stainless steel straw that he just goes and begins sipping on his bagged blood.
Apologies, someone was trying to disconnect my computer.
Mm,
You know, there's always going to be that one moving box that you'll never open.
oh, one is generous.
You, I believe, are alone in your haven, correct?
Yes, I like privacy.
And it feels very private. From the basement where you are, you can hear. It's not a crowd, but there's still quite a lot of people out and about. It's a warm, late summer night. Most of the restaurants and cafes have closed, but the bars are still open. And so you're gonna have your average drunken patron just, walking with their mates, shouting, laughing outside. You can sort of hear only a fraction of it, but
Okay, if I need to top up, the location's got plenty, but to start the night out, something a little more restrained. Besides, Flory's in the area, and she might get peckish, and I don't necessarily want a corpse in Little Italy tonight.
Speaking of, Flory, where did you park your haven tonight?
You mean the morning or the last night?
Last night, yeah.
Because last night I parked in the public parking lot, and then I walked to the bar, and then I walked back, and then I parked the RV. Because you know what you have to do is the RV is no one will bother you in your very nice luxury RV that you possibly dropped a couple $1 million on, along with the extra bar and everything. If you park during the day in like a Walmart parking lot, because then everyone assumes you're just in the Walmart. Or in the mall. A mall parking lot is even better. You would be surprised at how much you can get away with in a mall parking lot. So that's where she would have parked for the day. And then would have made her way towards Little Italy because she knows where Arthur is. She knows how to find Arthur when she needs to. It's really easy. He's on her speed dial. He's number 3.
On foot or in your RV?
Well, she'd move the RV a little closer, probably like parked in a luxury, in one of like the luxury malls, and then moved a little bit closer, but she would have walked if she needed to. And then of course, like, she isn't very hungry because she didn't do the blush of life on purpose last night because she was pulling the whole goth look, so I guess she has to do it tonight and look professional.
Well, you will have to.
Yeah. But she makes her way around, and it's just, she's really quiet when she wants to be, all the time. Like, it's not even a thing she does or thinks about. She's just really good at being silent, almost like the dead. Yes. A couple miles, that's nothing. It's just walking.
No, it's walkable, of course.
Oh yes, of course it's walkable. And...
So can you give me that rouse check for the blush of life tonight?
Mm-hmm. And I only have 1 because I didn't have a blush of life last night. So but I did use an ability. And I've succeeded.
You're good.
Flory doesn't get hungry a lot. She likes to keep her figure, or at least that's what she tells people.
Yes, because,
She-
with none of your internal organs actually working, I doubt you'll ever be able to put on some weight. Short of certain Tsimichi secrets.
Oh, I don't need those. Thanks, though.
It's always an option.
No, I'm good. I like my appearance the way it is. It does what I want. It draws the right kind of attention from the right kind of people, and it makes me look cool. People don't look when I don't want them to. But yes, she keeps the same red jeweled headband. Tonight she's braided it into her hair, and the black on black look stays, but it looks slightly more professional. Like you could go to like that look of you were in the office all day at a corporate job, and now you've just taken the blazer off, and now you're going out to dinner kind of look. A day to evening attire, although she never has anything to do during the day. And as she's walking, she's also scrolling through her phone and checking all of her like emails, seeing if her Zalmadi answered, a couple other people that she pays attention to for the business purposes.
Yeah, between last night and tonight, there was nothing outstanding in your emails. And by the time you're done, scrolling through everything, making sure that you're, up to date with everything that you needed to take care of, you had a brief exchange with the archivist at the museum. Nothing major, just the regular switching up of a few galleries, and then needing to know if everything was in order, if there was anything that you would like to have looked at before they put it away. But it's all very, to you anyway, who have lived through all this time, you've seen these artworks before. You've seen these paintings countless times before, and you know that at least one of them is a fake, and that the real one is yet to be found, if it still exists at all.
I mean, the fake is very good. I did have a very nice coffee with the forger. He was a very pleasant individual. But admittedly, he was doing it for a purpose, and all of those forgeries served a very good purpose to piss off a bunch of Nazis, which is what you always want to do.
And it's by then that you finally reach Arthur's Haven. Now, you were going to Arthur of your own volition. There is no set meeting area, I believe, that you all talked about last night, did you?
No, Flory was going towards Arthur because that's where the second video was filmed, and so she needs to get a more three-dimensional understanding of the space.
Mm-hmm. Not quite at his haven, though.
Well, I wouldn't go up to somebody's haven
yeah.
without being invited. I'm not rude.
You have a standing invite.
Oh, of course.
So the entrance that Kindred use isn't necessarily the upstairs one.
And I don't think I've been to Arthur's new abode.
No.
Not since he moved north of this.
Not since I changed zip codes.
Yes. Oh, she is bringing him a present.
Then let's cut to the moment where you knock on the door. Present in hand.
Basement doors knocking, that must be company.
Yeah, and it's
these industrial doors open up and this freight elevator comes up and he's like, hello?
Yeah, and it's like she wasn't even knocking, she was just drumming her nails on the metal of the doors.
again, this is a freight elevator that lowers into a basement that can handle a cow.
Yeah. That's okay. They're useful. They also move really good art that way.
Occasionally, for more robust situations, one needs to order a book. So, Lori, what can I do you for?
I'm just taking a look around. The wonderful new video doesn't show the whole place. And
So-
of course, I brought you a gift.
Appreciate it. Silvio's isn't too far. I was expecting to make a jaunt over here, but Silvio himself doesn't usually show up till 8:30, so we got some time.
Okay. So I have to ask the very important question, Arthur.
Mhm.
Which would be noticeable because she actually used your name and not any of the nicknames that she has for you. Have you been... I take it you haven't been to Silvio's in a while if you didn't notice somebody staring at you long enough to take a video.
Well, it wasn't me, it was Ralph.
Oh, I understand, but that's the point. There's somebody who was able to stand around in front of your place long enough to take video of a particular person at a particular time and then claim it was tied to aliens or vampires. I'm not sure which one is better. I mean, honestly, the alien theory is better for us, but slightly more insulting.
No, I haven't been by. I've been trying to get the green all properly situated and get the proper
speaking of-
staff.
And she like reaches in and like from and hands you like 2 fingers, hands you a card. She's going to do your art for you.
All right.
I guarantee none of them will be forgeries and none of them are hot.
The hot part I appreciate. I'm fine with a good forgery.
Oh no, I've got an entirely new group of people because do you know how popular it is with certain members of the kind that they actually want to showcase off forgeries as their own gallery? Like this whole gallery of forgeries. It's a moving thing.
Well, again, if you have something that has a historical significance, kindred or kind have an interest in.
Yes, they do. All
Well-
right. All right, Rajul Amal. You brought me in to deal with this one problem. Am I also attempting to deal with the other?
Primary things dealing with the first thing. As for the second, until I can ascertain precisely who I'm dealing with, not yet.
All right. Well then. Anybody who I shouldn't murder? Aside from the usual,
Again, I want to keep the kind count to a minimum unless they are directly responsible.
Well,
Again,
no,
the cops here are twitchy.
I don't do a lot of murder of kind. Doesn't serve my purpose.
As for the local kindred, unless Alex makes himself an absolute ass, let the kid live. He hasn't learned yet.
Oh, I figured you were going to take care of that.
It seems like my hand has been forced and I have to be responsible for him. Valois, unless he proves to be, again, right ass, and if my notions are correct, his insides are going to be plagued with by somebody far more vicious than either of us. So, neither here nor there. Diane, I have yet to ascertain. I don't want to be pissing off or cleansing the anarchs. I don't need that kind of a reputation.
No, Yuma's on the no-kill list. He pays me.
Betty?
Betty's dead. Or will be in the near future. You don't get to protect that one. I'm sorry.
No. Again, waste. A community gets rid of waste. We don't keep it around. If you need any financial support, consider it an act of community kindness.
No, that one is for free. I was thinking of sending it to Zamadi. In a
If you want to stake and FedEx, I'm fine with giving him a, what do they call it, like a meal plan.
I was just going to go with takeaway, but that meal plan works, I guess. I mean,
I just hope the damn thing didn't sigh or anything yet. Well,
and like she has this full body shiver at even the thought of
God, do you think?
no, but then she'd go,
What?
no, she's
Yeah.
too narcissistic. That would never happen.
oh, I don't know.
But she's not the right kind of
Corridor.
she's not the right kind of narcissist to want to try and remake somebody in her own image. Mm-mm.
Toreador would love to have fans. And those that aren't talented sometimes just make fans.
Ugh, she probably has a goal, doesn't she? Ugh.
Oh, I would think she has a coterie of them.
I'm going to break a nail, you understand? I'm charging her for the nails.
Yeah. If you need financial support or compensation, this is a community service I am willing to pay for.
Oh, and a florist.
Florist?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Do you have one that you use? Prefer?
Oh, again, I haven't been hearing, I haven't gotten my roots in. Like, I've gotten, like, some stuff localized, and I'll put it this way. I've been introduced to the boys. I've gone around town. I've gotten the corporate side started, and some of the medical side, as no one seems to have laid claim to something that is so important. So that's where my tender mercies lie.
I'll ask Kamya.
Thank you. Appreciate it. But yeah, no, it's a lot. You want to come in, or should we walk over to Sylvia?
I brought you a present, and she'll like walk in. It's
Okay.
like she waited particularly for you to invite her. She's polite to some people. She hands you a box that is in wrapped with very neat. It's only about 12 inches by about 6 inches by 6. So 12 by 6 by 6. And it's black matte wrapping paper that's been like very sharp creases and folds, and it's wrapped in a silver white ribbon, and the ribbon is what's holding the wrapping paper together. There's no tape on this. You can unwrap this whole thing and save the paper because we want to be ecologically friendly.
So important. Unwraps it diligently.
It is a very nice World War II era military issue officer's pocket watch. Full working order, but this one is made by Rolex, so it's a little nicer than others.
We're going to have to get you a display case, man.
A display case, or you're going to have to wind it.
That's not going to be a problem. But this is a piece of history that is important and should be cared for. Speaking of history and care, I wonder what Lucky's up to.
Dining, I presume.
You give him a call?
Yeah.
Yeah, lucky you are at the arena at that point. Yeah.
I imagine at this point in time, I'm at Sylvia's.
Oh, you would have beeline for Silvio's after feeding?
After coaching.
Mm-hmm.
After work, I would be over at Silvio's with my carpentry kit.
With your carpentry kit.
Mm-hmm.
Right, what does it look like? We're
you
just
know,
talking like a tool kit.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Okay,
yes,
okay.
but it's like a nice wooden, wooden kit, right? With like not lots of wrenches, but like
No, okay.
Okay.
It's because for some
Look.
reason I imagined you walking around Montreal with like long 2x4s and.
No.
I might have actually had some 2x4s as well, because after all, we have to fix the security problem. So I'm after I finish coaching, I go over to Silvio's and I'm working on fixing the security problem. And so I'm spending some time while they're like having while they're catching up and all of that.
Mhm.
I am manifesting the extra point of Portillon by just working on the area.
Yeah, you figure so your domain being bigger than just Silvio's.
Yeah.
You found a couple places where you realize so in Montreal we often have, just like in other cities, you have alleyways between houses, and these alleyways often end up on a small street with that's like in back of several apartment buildings with all of their backyards facing each other. And it's also a great way for prey to escape and for invaders to find like points of ingress. And you've spotted quite a few fences that had been either those wire fences that had been cut through by either vandals or would-be robbers years ago. Rotten sections of wooden fences. I mean, it's not your place to fix the uncountable amount of potholes, but that can also be used to your advantage when you know where they are.
But I have spent a lot of time fixing fences and repairing things for communities, and I spend some time after coaching doing that. I'm hanging about the neighborhood, fixing fences, repairing things that should be repaired. One, because it's a good thing to do. It's a neighborly thing to do. It keeps a community well, but also it just helps with our security a little bit. I don't particularly like what I saw in that second video. So
there's sorry, go ahead.
So I'm, and I imagine I'm in sort of like a workman's overalls. And I probably spend like a bit of time just actually doing like odd job fixes in the neighborhood, but also security.
No, there's this one point. So for the most part, people are either going to sleep, or on the verge of, or those that will remain awake for a long part of the night. They probably don't mind construction at that late an hour anyway. But there's this one fella, lanky, but with a well-defined beer belly. He's standing on his back porch in his underwear, these like baby blue and white striped boxers, with just a gray tank top with like a faded symbol of, I think it might have been like the Bruins, the Boston Bruins. And he's holding a beer, and he's just looking at you doing all of this. And just, in between the hammering and the drilling, when there's like a lull in the noise, he just shouts why?
This is your home, right?
This, yeah.
Take pride in it. Goes back to fixing it up.
Yeah, but that's not where you live. I haven't seen you around.
Takes a village.
You from the boonies?
I'm just doing my job.
Oh, hey, like he keeps drinking as you do that. I don't mind it. I just thought it was weird.
Looks at him. How old is he?
You figure he might be late 30s, early 40s, might be even so it depends. You see, if he has a mullet, ironically, he's probably on the younger side.
Right.
But if he has a mullet,
right,
you know, because he likes it, unironically, he's probably closer to 50, especially if he Quebec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like 40s up to like maybe early 50s. But he doesn't have a single gray hair that you can see on his head. Though his hair is very like a pale gray, almost like a hazel color. Pale brown, not pale gray.
I just think it's important to keep the community good.
He finally walks down from his porch and opens his fence and just walks right next to you, just to keep conversing.
Do you need your? Do you have anything you need done?
He looks back at his backyard. It's like, not at the moment, no, not that I can think of. Unless you want to mow my lawn.
No. I feel like the lawn's all right, sir.
Yeah, no, it's just... You remind me of my dad.
Me?
Yeah, he used to go around and just, like, tear out weeds in people's front lawn and try to fix stuff, like mailboxes.
Oh.
Yeah, we had a bad wave of people batting away mailboxes. Might have been in, what, 74, 75, something like that?
How old were you then?
No, I was like 6.
Well.
Yeah, no, it's funny because you're like the first person I see to do anything about anybody else's places. Like, it's not like anyone's gonna thank you, you know.
I know. Well, but I'll tell you a secret. Yeah, you were right. I am from the boonies.
Figured where from?
Me? I'm out from the Maritimes.
Oh, that's why you got that. I can hear the accent now. Yeah.
Well, but I like Montreal. I want to make it my home.
Well, I mean, it's probably a lot crampier than wherever you're from.
It's true.
Oh, and you don't want to smell the river.
No, I suppose not, but there's still water.
Yep.
And so assessing him, he was about like 6 in the early 70s. All right, so he's like late 40s, this fella.
Yeah, so he would have been born in, let's say, like he says 76. Yeah, he would have been born like in 1970.
Right, and we're 2014.
So he'd be 44 right now.
44, yeah. Which is not an elder, but
no,
still respectable. Still respectable. Because I know, read in the news that it was kind of dangerous here a while ago, but it seems like it's getting better, wouldn't you say?
Kind of. Not by much, I think.
Well, I hope it will get better. I figure it can if we all work together.
Yeah, it's just, it's not up to me to make all the big decisions, you know?
No, but I always feel like change happens from little decisions. Just like this fence post. I fix this, and maybe some kid doesn't slip and fall, and that kid has a better day and helps somebody else out. And then maybe, it's just a little bit better.
That's one way to see it, I guess. As you're conversing with this fella, would you mind making a check for me?
Of course.
We'll go with wits and insight. Or actually, charisma and insight. Charisma would work better.
All right. Let me submit this. And make sure I've got nothing else. All right, good. Difficulty 2, I assume? One success.
The base is
Yeah, a 2.
a 2, but with one.
Oh no, it's I have 2 successes. Yep.
Yeah, success is 2 out of 2. Yeah, because you got a and you haven't. Your hunger successes aren't more than your regular successes.
Yes.
So you look at the man, and you're able to repress your hunger every time you look at him. Every time you see most of his veins exposed because he's just wearing a tank top and underwear.
Yeah.
Also, he's wearing flip-flops. So he's very much vulnerable. But the thing that, past the urge of the beast to feed, you can feel that while he might not show it immediately, your actions and the thoughts behind your actions have started worming their way into his brain. Like he's probably not going to do anything right away. He's probably going to sleep tonight and then wake up tomorrow, talk about it with a coworker. The coworker will laugh it off, and that will sting him a bit. And that's just, the seed was planted. Also,
and
I need to kill a spider.
Oh, please do. And I think while I'm sort of fixing up, I'll just have him talk about his dad. Who he was and what he did. Just while I'm working, just have him talk about his dad.
Yeah, just small talk. You learned that his dad used to be a trash collector. And that, even during his days off, he would keep picking up the trash. It was like a vocation or something. He didn't know his dad much because his dad died of cancer when he was 13. And then his, he lived with his mom for a while. But they were always poor. His mom, by the way, passed away 2 years ago. She was stabbed on her way back from she used to go to the grocery store after her work shift, and she finished a little later that night and never made it home. They never found who the perp was. But he was he was an adult by then. He lives on his own. He doesn't have a family. He has other relatives, but he doesn't have children or a partner or anything like that. And he's very despite his background being rather sad. He's just nonchalant about it. He's very passive as a person. And by the time he's done with his beer, that's when he decides that, the conversation's over.
What's your name?
Oh, Leo.
I'll tell you what. My name's Lucky. And I pull out the $5 chip that I got from the slot machine the other night. And I flip it to him. And I say, maybe that'll bring you luck.
Which, he flips it, like, of course, the name of the jungle is written on it, but he's like, what kind of casino is that anyway?
Small, barely a casino. If you like tiki drinks, they got a lot of those.
Oh, that's the place downtown, right? Yeah. He goes to put it in a pocket that doesn't exist in his underwear.
Well, I work around here. If you see me say hey, I'll say hey.
Yeah, sure. It was nice talking to you.
And I note what kind of beer he likes. What he's drinking.
It was a Heineken. Yes, thank you, transcript, for saying honeycomb and not Heineken.
And having worked on the security of the neighborhood of our domain, I head over to Silvio's after that, and I note Leo in his place. Sad when people who are older, they deserve respect, and so I'm just going to note it. And on my way over, I probably go and pick up a 6-pack of Heineken before the shops close, which I'll drop off on the way back home.
Cool. So, quick question, Arthur and Flory.
Mm-hmm.
Do you call, do you text Lucky?
I text because that way, if he's in the middle of a social thing, it doesn't interrupt it. Again, I like to be polite, and modern conveniences are wonderful.
Polite vampire. You would have gotten your text, Lucky, while you were buying this 6-pack of Heineken. While you're at the cash, your phone goes off.
I look at it. I just text, be at the spot soon.
I take it the spot is Silvio's. See you there.
I just never say words on the phone. Lucky almost never says specifics, but you all know what he means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we'll cut to the three of you meeting in front of Silvio's.
And Lucky is in his work overalls, has probably got he's got his carpenter's, the big wooden one.
Yeah, the work box.
Yeah, the work box. I feel like there's a better name for it. And actually still has
well, it's not a tool chest, it's a toolbox, but again, because you're doing woodworking, it's a long one.
Yeah. And he probably actually still does have a 2x4s left. Still. Not much left. And, just a little bit of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm guessing you've been doing some urban renewal?
Yeah. A lot too many places for rabbits to run.
In that case, I think it's good that we talk to Silvio and see about doing a fundraiser for and legitimizing urban renewal in Little Italy. That way, people ask less questions and we get more secure.
Where's the parish and why haven't they run a church fete yet?
There are multiple parishes, and them actually coordinating and agreeing on something is a fucking nightmare.
Oh, so I'll go find. So we need to find the Saint Teresa's Guild. All right.
Well,
I'll see with Silvio about, local Rotary Club or its equivalent.
No, not the Rotary Club. The Saint Teresa's Guild. They're the ladies of the churches.
we don't want to get the attention of the churches.
No, but you want the attention of the ladies of the neighborhood, and they're going to be the people that you want.
I want the husband's money and the lady's approval. That is what I want.
So you want to talk to the ladies that will get you the husband's money and their approval.
No, because usually the ladies aren't necessarily fond.
I'd open the door.
Like, I think it's one of those, and as Flory goes to walk in, she just stops and does that smile and nod thank you while she's still talking to Arthur. And it's like she looks like she's business dressy.
If Silvio's unlocked, then I have a question for Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because he's still open, even though it's a little late? Or
it's because he's still open, because I don't think that, there is a short close that happens at 10:30. There is a half hour
and then
close.
He reopens later.
And then he opens at 11.
Yeah.
And then it's probably only half kitchen and
If that, it is mostly you are here for wine and cigars at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They might have a boxing match.
Silvio, of course, is there. It's not rare that to find him in his own establishment. He doesn't really work much. He socializes. He's sitting at this circular wow, it's not a stall, it's a booth surrounded by other Italian men and a perpetual cloud of smoke, which, unless you're a specific type of establishment, if memory serves, is completely illegal here. But you know what? Silvio has paid the fine countless times, and it doesn't even bother him.
It's illegal for those who can't afford it.
He's also probably finally someone is going to turn around and put private club on their paperwork, and then it's not a problem anymore.
Yeah, it's mostly depending on who the mayor is. The cops don't bother; they have other stuff to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's there. There's a couple of open bottles on the table. He just, when he sees the three of you enter, especially you, Arthur, he just raises his glass and upward nods in your direction, but then goes back to talking to the rest of his people.
Where do we when we go and talk? Where do we normally go?
When the two of us come here, there's a booth back in the kitchen that we usually sit at.
And I think Lucky's going to go right, just head right towards the kitchens.
Yeah, it's not in the dining area. There is not enough, depending again what you're going to talk about, but it's not full privacy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, full privacy is the office upstairs amongst the multiple offices. No, we don't need that. Besides, the boys are going to find out one way or another. So, yeah, I'll go in there again. These are a bunch of older Italian gentlemen. They will appreciate Flory's appearance. I will go and make introductions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why in my mind I would just picture a bunch of Al Pacinos.
No.
Sorvino!
In my mind, this is a murderer's row of Italian character actors.
Oh, mwah.
Yeah.
At least one of them is Paul Sorvino, and he's seated center stage.
Yeah.
Well, they're Paulie is sitting right next to Sylvia.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Because Silvio is being
Alfred Molina.
Yeah, Alfred Molina. There you go.
No. Sylvia's not Alfred Molina. Alfred Molina is the one next to Paul.
Right.
And then what's his name? I can't remember it. I have the picture up in the doc.
It's my second favorite. Dennis Farina.
Dennis Farina is Silvio. So
There you
yeah, it's just a murderer's row of Italian and Italian American character actors.
Yeah.
I have a few others, but they're all from like Quebec series. So
Nice.
Hey, that's fair.
fine. That's fine.
And the thinnest one is Joey Pantaleone.
There we go. There we go. And Flory grew up in the old world. Flory is old world, and she's old world, Southern Mediterranean at its heart. But the biggest difference between where she grew up and the people that she grew up with and these is the language. And that's about it.
Does Flory speak Italian?
No, Italian is not one of the languages she speaks.
That's mine.
Yes.
Arthur, you would understand that there are several comments made about Flory's appearance.
Of course there are.
Muttered in their beard, under their beard.
In Italian, gentlemen, with the hint of be on your best behavior.
Well, the thing, and I think Flory knows how to work a room.
Yeah, you don't need to roll to see that they're talking about you.
They're talking about me, and it's like, so she would, she's gonna come up to Silvio and, chit chat with him because he's the owner, and, schmooze and make good because this is Arthur's place, and,
Yeah, he wonders, who you are and how long are you in Montreal for.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't introduce myself. I'm Flory Winters. We'll be in town for a while, I guess. Probably. Business opportunities. I deal in art. Repatriation, mostly. Taking things from it didn't belong to and sending it back to where it does belong.
Flory has very many connections. There's an old friend who is insanely useful. Is helping me with the green and getting that.
You see that too when you talk about
repatriation
that you do. He calls you basically in Italian like a noble thief, which is kind of as a jest. And some of the other, not all of the men at the table, but some of them laugh as if this was something that,
Who doesn't laugh?
There are three gentlemen who are like on the outside, mostly. Probably like friends of friends. They just don't really pick up on it. Do they not pick up? Do they not understand the Italian? Or do they not understand the joke? No, they don't understand the joke.
Okay, because Flory gets the joke. There's enough, because she does speak French. She speaks French and English and Arabic.
Yeah, and I think it's nobile ladron.
Yeah, close enough. Depending. Like it also really depends on if Silvio is Sicilian or from northern Italy. But it would be close enough. And she's gonna like intentionally hitch her hip a little bit closer on one of the armrests and then wink at him. I ensure that everything I deal in, sir, is 100% legal. And then she'll just intentionally overly doing it, flutter her eyelashes at him. In that way, it's like, yes, of course, everything is perfectly legal.
Yeah, he's about to answer something along the same line, but unfortunately, the guy on the TV just gets knocked out by like a mean hook. And everyone goes, ah, and yeah, and then, you've lost their attention. It's...
Oh, wait. Who had money on him going down in the fourth? What the hell?
That's actually when a door opens, and a blonde gentleman by the name of Ralphie, I believe Ralphie Lombardo.
Yeah.
And Ralphie is the
Lombardi.
guy in the...
Yeah.
Ralphie is the guy in the video,
In
right?
the video, yeah.
He comes down from the second floor, like moments after the guy got knocked down, and he immediately goes table to table, and a lot of dejected patrons get their wallets out and begin to put cash on the table as he just, with like an asshole grin on his face, just picks it up. And you can hear him from, like, in the background, like, mentioning something about odds and, should have listened to him.
Hey, Ralphie. When you're done with your rounds, we need to talk.
Oh, yeah, sure. About a half hour?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to need to rough anybody up.
If anyone gives you trouble, you just holler.
And he goes back to picking up his stuff. And of course, he picks up money from a lot of people and happens to just split like a third of it and leave that to Silvio.
Well, and she'll get at that point. Flory is gonna get up and pat Silvio on the shoulder. She kind of gets off of his chair and winks at the other members of the table, and then purposefully strides but doesn't saunter towards Arthur because she's playing up the fact that she's flirting with the old men.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, if any of their wives were there tonight, it would be over.
No. But there's a thing that particularly in Italian and a lot of Southern Mediterranean ethnic communities do, where the younger girl, because Flory looks like she's 23.
Yeah.
She looks barely legal to be here.
Yep.
And all of these men look like they're her father's age, her grandfather's age, all of the grandfather, all of them look like her grandfather's age. So she looks like she's playing flirting with the old men, but knows that there's nothing's ever going to come from it. All of the women know that nothing's going to come from it. This is
they're not exactly the well, I mean, maybe some of their comments might have been a bit too much, but they're not, what's the name for it? There's a name in Italian for these disgusting men who will try to prey on lone women at night. Like they catcall them, and then they'll drive up to them, and and
they usually end up with their butt kicked because a whole bunch of Italian men are gonna kick their ass because somebody's brother is gonna call them or whatever. But anyways, this is kind of there's a cultural thing where there's this level of play flirting, which is training flirting, and it's the understanding of she's flirting with them, but she doesn't. None of them look at her really sexual, and they don't really look. And she doesn't.
No,
look at them sexual.
a lot of them just.
It's just the way they
reminded. You've reminded a lot of them of their own mortality.
Yeah, probably.
and that's the weight
and that's
of
why
time.
And that's why she's striding, not sauntering away.
Yeah. By the way, Arthur. Yep.
And that's why. But as she walks over to Arthur, she's just going to stop and say, and there you go. Have a good one.
You have made a number of them feel younger and the rest old.
They're such children, aren't they?
Lucky, by the way, everyone in the kitchen, they've seen you before. They know you. Few of them, nod, say hi, clap your back. One of them asks if you want. They've got some spare. Oh my god! I need a fish very quickly.
Bronzino, cod.
Yeah, let's go with cod. Someone had asked for a plate of of cod with sides and whatever, and they ended up returning it, but it's perfectly fine. It's still warm. Like, do you want it?
Sure, thanks. Because I blush of life, which means I can eat food.
To some extent, yes. Now, can you keep it?
I believe at my humanity I can until later. I'm gonna have to throw it up later, of course, but
Yeah. It's not. You're at 7, correct?
6. I think we're all at 6.
6 humanity. You're going to need a check actually to be able to keep it down for an hour.
Let me see.
Yeah, at 7, you can do so with Blush of Life, like, without a problem. Otherwise, you need the check. And at 6, you always need the check, and you need Blush of Life.
In order to keep it down?
Yeah, in order to keep it down. It's composure plus stamina.
I think what I'll do is I'll be like, I already ate, thanks. I think what I would probably do is like, smell it, you know what I mean? And like, ooh, but my mom already cooked for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, well, more for me then.
And I probably know some of them. I'd like just chat with them, like, hey, how's your brother? Like, I imagine I know some of their lives, the folks that work there in the kitchen. And
yeah, there's a few of them. Like, there's one who's actually going to the ITHQ, which is the like prestigious culinary institute in Montreal, and like he's training to be learning to eventually become a chef and open his own restaurant, and like things are going well, and he's a little stressed out because semester is about to start and it's his last year, and he's like, I need more hours, but Silvio is like not really giving him any. There's another guy who just got like a new girlfriend, and he's not really paying attention to his work. He's more daydreaming. You can notice also by the number of band-aids across his fingers that he might have not paid attention too much lately. But otherwise, like, Silvio treats his staff well. And his staff also knows that while they can talk about themselves, they don't ask questions about anyone.
Yeah. And I think it's just a very before the other two get there, it's a very sort of like hanging out in the kitchen sort of a thing, right? Where you the boss isn't here yet, right? So we can go and just reminisce, like, how's college, like, what's going on, like, it's a very kind of what is life like in that way.
It's what we call in Québécois the cow's floor, le plancher des vaches. You're down with, like, same level as the workers, and feeling how things are at the quote unquote bottom of the ladder.
And I also think that his French is Québécois French, because that's where he learned learned French. He did not learn it in school. He learned it here. So he speaks with the language of this place.
Oh, that's a good question. Wait, just for my own edification. When did you learn Québécois French?
Oh,
70s, if I remember.
The 70s. 70s? All right. So you still have that little, maybe, remnant of rolling your R's. Because that was seen as the proper way to speak before.
Right.
Most people wouldn't, but you would have heard it a lot around you.
Yeah. And I was, like late 60s, because I was coming in to Montreal even before I left, right? Starting in the mid 60s, like when the big, the French movement became really, really strong. And there's a lot of like big student uprisings. I was like hanging out then. So I'm probably getting my French starting in the early to mid 60s is when I start learning it here. Mostly from, I would imagine, a lot of college students who were protesting quite a lot.
Oh yeah.
Like that's the vibe.
The time.
Yeah, so maybe a slight rolled R. But
otherwise they might not have heard it, but they probably have grandparents that still do and all that. So it's not too jarring, but it's you're like special.
Yeah. you're like, oh, you probably learned from your dad, your mom, like
yeah,
that
it's
kind
like
of a thing.
clearly it's second language, but you're
Yeah.
very good at it.
Yeah. And I'm just like enjoying myself. There's like there's a kind of a relaxation. If you remember, Lucky was not this relaxed when he was at the jungle the night before, but here hanging out in the kitchens, he feels much more relaxed.
Yeah, you're a people person, but a people as in capital P people.
Yes, people. You know. You know.
A quick out of game notice. I have now finished 8 tissue boxes since I got COVID.
Oh,
3
Those
weeks
aren't
ago.
the kind of kill markers you want on your vehicle.
I know, right? But I'm keeping them next to me and to see how high I can build a tower of boxes. So, aside from the GM acting like a 13-year-old, Arthur, Flory eventually finish with Silvio and the rest of the patrons, and they go in, and you all sit down at your let's say Arthur personal booth. Arthur's personal booth. It's either Arthur or Silvio that uses it.
Knowing restaurants the way I do, there's usually a booth in the kitchen, which is used for 3 purposes. One, when you're splitting up tips and you're not using, all of the newfangled formal stuff,
yeah.
it's split on that booth.
Yeah.
As well as managerial stuff happens at that booth. Other things is, okay, you have a chef in town that's guesting, and this is the private table for the owner to impress folks.
Mm-hmm.
And then lastly, this is the table that you use when you are doing stuff that is above board for your staff, but below board for everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so it's the table where you do cocaine, so you can do like a 3rd shift during your day.
No. That's out of the back.
You don't do the coke in the kitchen. You don't want to contaminate the food.
No, that's true.
Cross-contamination is very important.
That's true. I'm sorry.
Very picky.
We're not endorsing it here at Wandering DM, but do coke responsibly.
I don't. I just do Canada Dry because
I actually do Pepsi as a true Quebecer. Take that, Americans. Anyway,
Pepsi is an American company.
Yes, but y'all don't like it. So
people do.
Sitting down at the booth are the 3 of you, and just as we jest out of game, we're also going to take a quick break. Before we get to your private meeting at the back of Silvio's. So we'll be back in about 5 minutes. I'll go grab another brick for my Tower of Congestive Anguish.
Nice.
And we will be right back, everyone. Hello, we're back. And we are at a booth in back of the kitchen at Silvio's, where our three... I'm on the wrong mic. Where our three
Ooh, yeah.
vampires have sat down.
The minute they sit down, Lucky leans in to Flory and goes, "Why did you go and point out Hetty? What was that about?"
Oh, because
quiet so that the other people, can't hear it.
because Giordani asked me to look into it.
Why did you announce it to the entire room?
Because I wanted to see them react, and I didn't really care. Why? Is it a big deal?
People are trying to kill her. If they find her, she's dead, and you just let people know that she was there.
No, I didn't let them know that she... Everybody saw another person in the room.
Nobody
They didn't know who she was.
Nobody talked about there being another person in that video.
Yes, they did. That's how I got it.
Nobody in Montreal mentioned a second person.
Maybe not to you, but the guest people were talking because Giordani saw it and then asked me to look into it.
I knew because I knew who to look for. None of them knew. And now they're looking. Not only do they know there was somebody else in that video to look it for, they know now where they come from.
No, they know that they're a Bruja. Big deal. So it's like...
Let's cut this.
The seventh
Have
of
this
the
discussion later. Okay.
Oh, all right. Oh, Hamia, I have a present for you. And then she'll dig into her purse, which, is a work going out purse. So it's not a clutch. It's a...
You might have a clutch in the purse. But
I have a clutch in the purse. But that's an entirely different thing. It's like, here. And she hands you a similar sized box. Oh, you'll like it. Open it. It's a present. And again, it's wrapped in this pressed black paper with a silver white ribbon on it.
Here or later?
Oh, it's a present. Open it. Open it.
And he unwraps carefully. You can it's always one of those things where he always has that. There's always a tension between ripping things open and being careful, but respect, right? Respect is you open carefully. So he opens this carefully and opens up the box to see what's inside.
Inside, there's a glass case that's a little thicker. I mean, it's actually a little bit bigger. Oddly, it's not the same dimensions as Arthur's. I should have changed that. It's 12 inches square and about 4 inches thick.
Mm-hmm.
Say the size of an LP. And it's in a black protected case, and it's a signed LP by Sam Cooke. I think you'll this is I got this recently. It'll be really good for you.
Oh, thank you.
And I think it should be, if I have this correct, because I wrote it down. It was the Sam Cooke at Harlem Square.
Nice. Thank you. So, Arthur, where can we talk? Since we clearly have business and we can't do it here.
There are still ears that can hear in this place.
So, where can we talk?
Back at my place.
All right.
I'm glad I wore the boots today. There's so much walking going on.
You quickly found out that Montreal is a place for walking.
Yes. That's upsetting. I'll have to figure something out. I do not want to have to pay. I mean, also, I need to find a cobbler. Do you have a cobbler yet?
I do.
Quick question out of character.
Yes.
Yes.
What shoes is Flory wearing? This
Flory
important.
is wearing, because it's summer, correct? It is
Mhm.
summer. She is wearing a wedge, a low wedge heel summer strap sandal under plasado pants, in black. Everything is black, and the belt is a mirrors the headband headpiece that she's wearing in red, but it's silk in red, in blue, in white, and just tied around her waist.
He glances at your feet to see what your shoes are.
And she has her nails done.
And he goes, those shoes are made for walking.
That's just what they're going to do.
And then he stops and he goes, and he's thinking of Betty. Like, it was like the, oh yeah, somebody made a bad choice.
Don't worry, I'm going to take care of that one. That one's a freebie. Well, that's not really a freebie. Some people have donated, but it'll be fine. That'll happen. We're going to do takeout for my Zamati. It'll be great.
I don't want to know.
Sometimes community service means taking out the garbage.
And sometimes one man's garbage is another man's fine 5-star dining.
Back at your place, Arthur?
Yeah.
All right.
Or we could go to my place.
'Cause we've got some trouble.
Well, there's a number of things that we need to do, but I need to talk to Ralph, as well as possibly, if the boys weren't going to be too rowdy, talk to Silvio for a bit, because the fact that there's somebody surveilling this place, whether
I got the pictures I needed. The spacing is awkward. There's only about 2 locations that I'm going to retroactively ask for a roll as she was walking up to gauge, where
these videos were taken.
Yeah, where this video was taken.
Oh, you don't even need a roll. You've seen the video last night.
Yeah.
And you can... So, Silvio's built on a street corner. But the way the door is placed, that immediately negates like an entire street. There's one direction that you can't because it wouldn't have been the same
line of sight. Yeah,
the same line of sight. Yeah. That leaves you with about 2, and you walked on one sidewalk and realized, nah, that's not it, and then cross the street to the other and realized, okay, yeah, that's where it is. And it's a it's a small cafe that was closed by the time you got there. It's more of a like breakfast lunch place. They serve like wraps and some such, but they have like a little like outdoors area with, it might fit like, well, you would, yeah, they would still be there, the tables.
Yeah, the tables would be there. If they had
1,
umbrellas, they're
2,
probably
3,
tied down.
4,
The chairs maybe flipped
yeah,
up, or the chairs
5,
taken
6,
in, depending on where they are.
7, 8. There are 8 tables total, with like an alley between.
Yeah, the door in the tables. Yeah.
So no, I mean that you can walk in between.
Okay.
For like servers and whatnot, and also people on the sidewalk actually, because the way it's built, it's actually taking up all the room. And if you put yourself there, wherever you want within that terrace, if you are to hold a phone up, you can clearly see it's the same field of view.
And so, Rajul, you have to talk to your boy, because there was no cover. There was absolutely nothing that could have hidden this individual. They were seen. What if they were, a disgruntled bookie of making a bet, the individual who lost on the bet? 2 in the back.
I understand. I'm going to go over things because I don't think they fully appreciate situation that the city's actually in. And looks up and like sees Ralphie coming in.
Yeah, his blonde hair basically towering over the other cooks and the chef in the restaurant. And he makes his way to the booth, but he stays standing like a foot away from the table.
Arthur would get up. Ralphie, this is Floyd, Lucky.
Hey, ma'am.
Hey, buddy.
Have a seat. This is unfortunate, but we're gonna have to go over.
All right. Do you motion him to sit like closer to the wall so that he's boxed in by you? Or
I'm not going to do that to him. That's too threatening. I'll let him sit.
Flory slides over a little bit to let the open ending be there.
Yeah, so he's going to sit like with like a leg on the outside of the booth.
Mhm.
He's like one ass cheek on the bench and the other one just in the air. And he begins to tap the table with his fingers. And so what's going on? What have I done?
It's not necessarily what you've done. It's more what's going on.
What you haven't done.
We'll get to that. I come from down south. We have a lot more unsavory characters wandering about. But I have it on good authority that Silvio's is being surveilled and the surveillance is trailing you.
Oh shit, what the fuck? Do you know if it's the MPD, the feds?
I don't know who precisely, just that it's being surveilled and they have you on tape.
Hey, look, I've kept like none of the stuff I do should have filtered out. I mean, unless it's like the only thing I can think of really, it's like someone got pissed off and whatever.
Do you have any ex-girlfriends? Boyfriends?
I need to check my notes. Arthur, does he?
He just got married.
Yeah, he just got married, that's true. Yeah, just got married. I have it here. Good kid.
That doesn't mean he doesn't have an ex.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, one, I would suggest you just be more careful about where you're going, where you're seen coming from, who you've seen with.
Yeah, sure, but
Two, need to talk with Joey. You should be hitting the gym. You need to learn a few things.
yeah. Look, oh, question. Would he call you by your first name or by your last name?
He is one of the few kind that is allowed to call him Marty.
Okay.
Because he reminds me of Lorenzo.
Mm-hmm. Look, Artie, can I ask? Like, you said I was surveilled and everything. You must have seen it. Do you know where it was? Because I mean, I won't go there.
The problem is, I'm just opening this place up. They got you from across the street.
From across the street? Like tonight?
No, a few nights ago.
What? Oh, come on.
You a stalker?
No, it's just... That was, yeah, like... I got hungry. And I figured I'd go grab something from here. I'd make it myself, you know? Nothing too, like, complicated, but I mean... When you have access to Silvio, like, would you really eat from anywhere else? You said from across the street.
Mhm.
And you know, Arthur, Ralphie is not being necessarily the most paranoid person. Sorry. But he's not completely naive either. He keeps a good pair of eyes in the back of his head, just in case. You know, when you're a bookie, chances are people might not be happy that you've collected. And it's like there weren't a lot of people on the street when I got here.
I don't think whoever it was would have been subtle.
They really couldn't have been subtle from where they were trying to film you, dear.
Up on the... Where'd you say?
Oh, in the outdoor dining of the cafe across the street. I mean, it's straight up after midnight. There's no one there except the individual that came
I know
for
that
phone
guy.
who was... Oh, you do? Do you have a name?
No,
address?
I remember
Details?
the guy. No, I remember the
Okay.
guy. He was. I thought he was one of those like who just like talk out loud on like FaceTime in like a middle of the street instead of talking on the phone.
No, he was recording you.
Yeah, he was also talking, but
Using
Yeah.
a cover.
so yeah, okay. When I got in, yeah, he was there talking on the phone, and I grabbed a couple things, and when I left, I saw him. He was like down the street, farther away. But I mean, it was still him. Like I can't. Guy was dressed with a gray hoodie, but also he had his he had like short dreads sticking out of it. Anyway, he took the 363 north.
Okay, white folk dreads or actual dreads?
No, actual dreads. I'm fairly certain those were
Okay.
actual dreads.
Did you get his... What else did you get about him? Age, anything?
Because you had to have seen him when you walked in.
Did his hoodie have it, something on it?
I don't know, but I know that I have a security camera upstairs.
That would be good if we could see
Because,
it.
I mean, Silvio has his own, but I think Silvio's might not have it. But yeah, if
Definitely pull the tape. All right. Now, you probably should increase security around you because it seems like whoever law enforcement wise is pulling this, they've either using proxies, which that's them, or their undercover is very good. Either way, that's bad news for you. And if it's bad news for you, it's bad news for the family. Clear?
yeah. Should I keep doing what I do? I'm not going to do it from home.
You should keep doing what you do, but don't make any unnecessary stops. And if you can, try and stick with people, but not anyone who is too connected. Okay. Capiche?
Yeah.
Hey, Ralphie,
What?
listen to your boss, but I have a different theory. I think it's somebody who's obsessive. And I think you might want to watch out for somebody who is not professional, but who might have the advantage of being unpredictable, obsessed with you personally, and perhaps unstable.
I don't know which of the two I should be more afraid of.
Right
You're
now,
more afraid of the one that gets you pinched and others hurt.
Ralphie, that's your name, right?
Yeah.
The more important thing that both your boss and Hamia here, you have a very shiny wedding ring on your hand right now, Ralphie.
He like
If they follow you, they know where they follow you home. Tell your wife. Or spouse. I shouldn't assume. My apologies. That is my fault. Tell your spouse to be careful.
Yeah, I'll let Sophia know.
I'm going to probably have a talk with Sylvia later, but that's primarily what we need from you. And if you can get me a copy of the tape, sooner the better. Because if I can track this person down, use my connections that I have already to find them, we can be very clear on precisely what's going on and possibly get this cleared.
Could you just show us the video right now?
If you guys want to go upstairs, yeah.
Yeah, I think we should check it out.
Lucky Flora, you go and check it out. Trust you, you've got better eyes than me. I'm going to talk to Sylvia about urban renewal project and increased security.
Lucky stands and makes space.
So Flory has to wait for Ralphie to get out.
Yeah, Ralphie will leave with Lucky.
And Lucky waits for Flory to go before.
Yeah, and Flory, as she walks by, she's going to clock the entire space of this kitchen and everything. Like, she's doing everywhere. She's just doing all a security pass of this entire space. As if one might have to worry about breaking and entering. Are there signs of breaking and entering that may have been missed by individuals who didn't know any better?
That's the 335. I'm looking for 363.
It's a bus that goes north, but you if you're looking on Google Map right now, like it in our world, it doesn't go necessarily through where Silvio is placed. Mind you, because Silvio doesn't exist IRL.
Yeah. But where does it head?
It heads to Montreal North.
I thought as much.
But it actually goes all the way north to let me open the map again. Because you, having been in Montreal for a while, especially the buses that are around your area, like you end up recognizing them.
Yeah.
So it goes to Montreal North, but I should say it goes north. And to maybe the edge of Montreal North, because it will go all the way to...
goes across town, right?
Yeah. So it goes up and then across, and it goes to... where's that subway station? My God, I need to remember them.
This looks like a very practical bus. It goes right from where the jungle was around that area, right? Right across.
Yeah.
Got the right bus.
Oh, yeah, that's it. The name of the station is called Henry Bourassa.
Yeah.
In Huntsic. So it's not too Montreal north, but it's to where would say the outskirts of the district are.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a north-south bus.
That's a very practical bus.
Yes.
Yes.
And it passes every... You remember, it's one of those buses that, like, has, like, a tight half-hour schedule. Like, there's one every half hour. Almost... Theoretically. Let's leave it at that. Theoretically, it's every half hour. But it being Montreal...
Let me ask you this question. It's the World of Darkness. Imagine the World of Darkness.
It's not every half hour.
But it might be one of the buses that still runs normally, more or less, versus those other buses that do not.
Yeah, it's the one that it'll run normally until you really need it and you're desperate and someone's chasing after you, then the bus won't come up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So you go upstairs to Ralphie's office. So the upstairs of Silvio, whereas the restaurant itself is very, very beautifully decorated, very classy. The upstairs is still just, it's painted brick walls and mostly empty space that is filled with, you know, spare tables, spare chairs, cleaning products and other, you know, paraphernalia. And then you have this rickety wooden door that if you have trouble opening it because it's been painted over so many times that it is now bigger than the frame itself, like larger than the frame. So you kind of have to jerk it a bit, and then when it opens, it leads into this very let's call it industrial office. You know, he hasn't painted over the bricks. He's left the like the AC pipes at top. There's no like suspended ceiling or anything. It looks it could pass off as a good pad for a single man in the city. But that's where he works, and when you come in, you immediately spot at least one security cam that is in the corner, which would be on the outside wall pointing in, and it has both the door and his desk and laptop in clear view.
Yeah.
And so he goes in, the laptop's already open, so he just like, you know, shakes the mouse a bit, and then opens up, you know, his surveillance software, goes into the archive and looks at all the videos, and he's like, okay, a week ago, right, it's this one, and it was at, I think it was a bit after midnight, and you have it.
What day was it?
So, have I given a specific, I don't think I've given a specific day during your meeting. So it would be 3 weeks to the day from today.
I stand like one step behind Florian to her side so that she has the better view, because she is the professional after all.
I'm also shorter than you.
Yeah.
Even in these wedge heels, I'm probably shorter than
you. Can just look over her shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
But like, you know, the thing is, unlike some people, Betty, I respect professionals.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? And so I make sure that Flory has the space of first view, but I'm looking because I want to see if I know this person.
Oh yeah. It's really funny though because you I don't know why you said compared to other people, and then instead of saying comma, you just said Betty. I don't know why.
Because Betty is the least professional person we have met so far.
No shit. Can the two of you give me? So you have plenty of time to look at this video over. I don't know how long you plan on staying here, but I feel like we'll start with intelligence and awareness.
Can
I'd like a printout of his
Can
face.
I actually the general face of the individual, like the appearance, I'm going to pull, but I want to use this image to see instead with my specialty in breaking and entering, if this individual was merely trying to record the individual or case the joint.
He's casing the joint. You know what? What I'll say, do not roll for your specialty.
Okay.
But if you succeed on the check, you'll know. I'll let you know exactly what his intentions as far as this is concerned.
Okay, so you want intelligence,
int and awareness.
Okay. Awareness, because you got to roll the skill and then put the attribute.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, Lucky?
I have influence in basically Black Montreal. Can I use that as like to reduce my difficulty by 1 if it is relevant? I'll just note it in case it is.
Then I would say, thank you for
be.
letting me know. Roll with the difficulty 2. And if it is, and you only have 1 success, you know.
I'll just note it.
Yeah.
Bestial fail and messy critical. Wait.
Okay.
Bestial
Am I
fail.
gonna have? Oh no!
And hold on. Bestial fail and a messy critical. I will use I'll spend a willpower to re-roll my 3 failed dice.
Please do.
And that'll be 3. And 3d6, 3d10. So that is
2 successes, 3
successes, right?
Yeah, 'cause the 10 counts
10
twice.
cancels 2.
Yes.
What's our difficulty? Is it 7 or 8?
8.
It's a 6.
It's a
6
6.
is- Oh,
Yeah,
so
6.
3 does.
So that's 4.
Yeah, because
so that's
we're back in Vampire and not Onyx Path.
Oh yeah. I'm going to spend a willpower to re-roll those 3 failed as well.
You can
You
only
can-
re-roll normal
The-
dice, so the red
the
ones
2.
you
2.
can't.
The 2. So the 2. I'm sorry, the 2.
so that this way it does not become messy critical because I have more, right? So that's 6 successes.
Slash R 2D. Oh, but that's right. We can re-roll. Just
normal dice.
Well, no, we can just click the die and re-roll dice.
Yeah, the one that's at the top left.
Okay, so that's 2
What one?
successes combined. 1 and 1.
Oh yeah, okay, because it made you roll 1 as a hunger, but yeah, okay. So you've got 2 successes total. And,
Okay, so I should just roll it as not a hunger die. Yeah.
But that's okay.
Okay,
that's
that's-
okay. And Trooper has 1, 2, 3, 4,
6.
5, 6 successes. Because they are not on a regular dice, it's not a critical success.
The re-rolls count as regular dice, yeah?
The
Yeah,
rerolls
but you
count
have
as
to have
regular
2
dice.
10s only on black dice.
Okay.
So what it does is if you have 2
Yes,
10s on
yes,
black dice,
yes,
then
yes.
it counts as 4 successes automatically instead of
Right.
no, sorry, it's
Hold on.
2 additional successes above the 2 10s for an extra. Basically, it just means they like explode, if you will.
Yeah.
However, my problem is with your bestial failure
That
and
doesn't-
messy critical.
The bestial failure does not happen because I no longer fail. Because I re-rolled those failed dice. That's why I did the
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah,
reroll.
yeah, yeah.
So
Uh,
so then he succeeds on the dice that he has a critical, and the dice that that are normal dice, so it outweighs the bestial
Yeah.
failure.
Because I was like, I
Yeah,
will not
because it
have
needs
that.
to fail.
Yes.
It needs to
Um,
fail, and it needs to have rolled a 1. Yeah. However, the
Yeah.
messy critical,
Yep.
which 1 or more 10s appear on a hunger die. Okay, so that's automatically because you rolled a 10
Yep.
on a hunger die.
Yep.
So that is
So actually, I think I do get the big crit, right? Because I have 2 10s.
no, it needs to be 210 on the regular.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of the big crit, you get the messy crit.
Right.
Now, this is you looking at a video of a person,
Mm-hmm.
which, by the way, your specialty did apply, so that was a difficulty less, because he is he's a black man. I'll get
Probably
back
going
to
to my neighborhood.
Yeah, Flory, I'll get to you in a sec. Because of the messy crit, you're hungry, Lucky. And it is with hunger in your eyes that you stare at this kine, filming Ralphie, and just staying there, unarmed, oblivious, focused on filming. And just as the kine was focused on filming the restaurant, you're now focused on feeding on him. It's not just a question of finding. You're now wondering, what does he taste like? What kind of humors does a stalker have? The effect of this bestial failure will not, on this messy critical, will not happen yet.
Okay.
Just remind me, because I'll also take a note of it, but remind me that you've had that messy crit if you ever meet this person face to face.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Flory. And then I'll give you all like the generic, you know, not the generic, but like the answers that apply to both after. Flory, he's not casing the joint. In fact, if he was any type of burglar, he would be horrible at it. Not only does he, like, from the camera, it's evident that he's filming. He's not making an effort to hide, and he films for a bit. Then you see him stand in that same place, and he like fiddles on his phone for like 15 minutes before pocketing it and then walking briskly to the bus stop. Anyone who is casing a place, like, he stood there long enough for the both of you, despite the poor quality of the CCTV, to get a good view of who he is. If this person was supposed to prep for a heist, like, he's dead. He just doesn't know it yet.
I mean, he's probably dead and doesn't know it yet for a lot of
For
reasons.
other reasons, yeah. So,
Ah.
our little friend... you're muted, Trooper.
Sorry, because students, this is the last weekend before classes start. I'll just note, just before you say anything, that the book says if the messy critical...
I've read the passage, but that's why I want it to happen later, because narratively it fits more than just you being clouded by... Because you being clouded by hunger and staring at the guy
Or
means
just the beast.
Or just the beast.
Yeah.
But it means that you would also get a good look at the guy.
Yeah.
Like, so one way or another, I'd rather it biting you in the ass later.
Then fail now.
Because the hunger, the beast doesn't forget.
I don't think the beast would be for hunger. It would be for violence. Protection?
No, the beast is also hunger.
Well, but the beast can be
wants to
anything,
feed.
right?
Yeah.
The beast can be anything, and I am a kind of a violent person who who is meant to protect places. And if people are threatening to places, I imagine my beast might want to harm it, you know?
Yeah.
Harm
Maybe make it
threats,
so that he can never be a threat to anything anymore.
for example.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Your successes, your overwhelming amount of successes.
So I want to give the option to turn those successes into a fail, just because, you know, it was in there.
Oh, yeah, but for now, I'm okay with where we are. So, of course, you don't have the name of the guy. He doesn't have a name tag on his clothes. He is wearing a gray hoodie, camo pattern shorts, running shoes. He's wearing socks that are almost knee-high, like soccer socks. Which either the person plays soccer, or maybe it was a way for them to hide their legs, but like their knees are still uncovered. So anyone who stared at him for a while, or even looked in his direction from maybe not as far away as Ralphie did, would know that it's a black guy. The short dreads that peek out of the hoodie do so because he has sort of tightened his hoodie around his face. And so they don't just peek out because the hoodie is loose and he's got like rather long dreads. It's more that he like scrunched it and they happen to poke out. It's what's written on his hoodie though that is interesting. It's red lettering, darker lettering, because the CCTV's in black and white. Kind of old, but it's got on it. I just don't want to. There are 2 words on it. Nope, not the one. There you go. They don't have a team name. That's what I thought. It's written Hunsick on it. In the same font, I'll have that, as what you would have like on a sports jersey. Hunsick, College Hunsick is a it's a CJEP, so you know, kind of past halfway between a high school and a college, if you will. Community college is probably the closest that you have.
Yeah.
And Hunsick College is, well, almost a straight line on the 363 up from here.
What are his calves like?
Oh yeah, you got enough. They're delicious.
No, I want to know if he's an athlete or if he's not.
With the amount of successes you have, he's an athlete. His calves show that he's someone who runs a lot. Or bikes a lot, but yeah. And you got a good look of his face. I'm going to unlock it on Legend Keeper.
I'm going to ask Ralphie for a printout or to send it to me.
Yeah, I don't have a printer, but sure. He asked for like an address and we'll send it over.
We'll just beam it over. Just phone to phone.
Ooh. I need to change something before I make it public.
Also, can I make an int plus athletics roll to see if I, because I know sports in the area,
Uh-huh.
to see if I'm able to tell something about all of this, you know?
Yep. As you do so, I will be quickly right back. But please give me
Sure.
that roll.
5 successes. It's a big, huge monster crit.
It's all the
No,
crit.
it's just one. It's just
Oh.
one crit. Just one. I only got 110. So it's just a baby crit.
Yes. Just a
I know
baby crit.
sports. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
You do know
you know.
You do
Not
know
only do
sport.
you know, your beast knows.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not breaking and entering and murder. We all have our skills.
Yeah. You know, breaking, entering, and murder. I know offsides rules, penalty boxes.
You know the most important quote about hockey. I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. Oh my, would you look at that?
Baby crit. So a 6.
Yeah, that's a 6 successes.
Yeah.
So
Because I know the area. I know the sports in the area. I hang up a lot of athletes. Yeah.
yeah, that looks like a soccer player.
What do I know about their team? Do I know anybody on that team?
Ooh, would you know anybody on that team? You know what? With those amount of successes, I will say yes. In fact, no. Let's do it even better. You think you know who he is.
Mm,
I will change the thing to his actual name. Ezekiel Luongo. You're fairly certain it's him. Like, it's sorry. Now that you think back about
but,
his
like,
voice,
I'm
in
like,
the
I'm just
video.
thinking about, I'm thinking like, who do I know goes to the gym when we play other teams? When we play, like, cause like we're like a local, like a local league. Who we play, who I've seen when we go to play. Like, I'm like running through all the gyms, all the sporting events in my mind to try to match those things together.
Yeah, you've seen him at the. I mean, you play hockey. Well, you coach hockey.
I do.
Soccer is completely different, and but soccer is quite popular with the immigrant population in
Mhm.
Montreal, and so a
Mhm.
lot of the folks that you cross path with at the gym, like those guys on the treadmills that are there for hours at a time. Yeah, those kids are probably training for like soccer or
Yeah.
running or something, and the voice, the look, the hoodie with the name of the college on it,
Yeah.
you could stake your immortality on it. That's how certain you are. It's Ezekiel.
Yeah. I think
And from what you remember, he still attends that college.
Mm. I think I know him. Not personally. Goes to one of the local Seagypts. Football player.
It's a distinction you have to make here. Football or soccer?
Football, not American football, but
There's also
no.
Canadian football.
Yeah, because we
Yeah,
also
not-
have Canadian
and
football,
not
so like
Canadian
it
football
becomes even
or-
worse.
or American football or Australian rules football. Associated football.
Oh, so a soccer player. Okay.
I don't know what do Canadians say soccer or do they say football?
Yeah, no, we do. It's soccer.
By the way,
in Quebecois, soccer.
oh, nice. By the way, when British people say, "Why do you Americans say soccer?" It's not soccer. It's like that was made up by English people, by the way. They're the ones who made up that name. Just gonna say it. Just before they go get on us, that was them. It's part of their weird, like upper class, like slang. So I'm just noting it.
Well, we have a name. We have a location. Ralphie is going to pay more attention to what he's doing. He's going to tell his wife to be careful. I feel like I'm in business.
We have a lot of people to talk to. Who do we talk to first?
Well, this gentleman has just made the top of my list.
And it's with these wise words that we're going to end tonight's session. Time flies so fast during our vampire games, y'all. But you now have a name. You now have a location. And not only that, but you are probably one step closer to figuring out what the hell's going on.
Except that this guy's nothing to do with the big conspiracy. This is the second video.
That's why I said perhaps.
This is the
a security breach.
Never got to talk about it, but I don't think this guy's anything, right? This is one of these like conspiracy theorists who's like, oh, they're everywhere. I don't think he's anything. And
of course not. But he's a snack.
Well, he's
literally.
Yeah. Gonna murder him. Just gonna be happen. I'm gonna get some stains next time. It's gonna be a
Probably.
thing. Yeah. Because my beast is gonna go and kill him. It's just gonna be it's gonna be a thing that's gonna happen. Yeah. I just got to make sure that I hopefully not in public.
Foreshadowing for next week.
Hey, I got a messy crit, so I'm gonna murder some people.
So on that, everyone, thank you for coming to our little lovely game tonight. Thank you, players, for being here at the tail end of the long weekend. By the way, players, where can we find you? What do you have going on in your lives? What do you want to plug? And also, what is something you enjoyed about tonight's game? I do have something, but I'll go last. We'll do the same order as we did the intros, so we'll start with Lucky.
I hope I can steal your thing. I hope we can all steal your things. That would be really good, right? If, like the one thing you have.
Yeah. Like if everyone says it, I'm just like, yeah, well.
We've got 3 chances to see if we can ninja your thing that you like best. I'm Trooper SJP. I was playing Lucky Dixon, who likes to protect the community. And sometimes to protect the community, you must murder people. Probably quite violently. So it'll be cool. Somebody in chat said, maybe there'll be a chase scene. That was Pope. Pope said it. Maybe. But it's an unfair chase scene if that's the case, because I don't think mortals have celerity. So anyway, but I do love athletes for dinner, for dinner, or just, anyway. So let me think. I will start with what I love best. That's very tricky. I think that what I loved best today was the vibe. Okay, it's this moment. Are you ready? When the guy goes down in the boxing match and everybody goes, ah, there was just that real vibe that you get from a kind of, Silvio's clearly is an upscale restaurant sometimes, but when the other people aren't there, it's a neighborhood restaurant, right? That place where people from the neighborhood are all there. And that vibe, Simon, you really evoked the vibe of that neighborhood restaurant really well. And the people who hang out at that place. And I wanted to say that was my favorite part. That whole moment of Flory and Artie talking to the guys, and then the guy getting hit in the middle of the match on the TV. Like, that was very evocative, and I could see it more than anything. Let me see. So what can I plug? Today's Monday. So Wednesday at 8 p.m., you can find me GMing Upon the Hexhamshire Moors, which is a good society game over at Laugh Love Lindy's, and that will be very exciting. RPG-wise on Friday over at my channel, Trooper SJP, at 7 p.m. Eastern, there'll be a game with me and Laugh Love Lindy, and the game is Showdown. 2 players, one of us will die. Hopefully the PC is not the players, because that would be awkward. But we have come together, and one of us is going to murder the other. It's a showdown. And then on Sunday is the return of Witcher Road's Home over at Praxagorthis Meforia's over at 8 p.m. on her channel Eastern. And you should see the beginning of season 4 because things are going to happen. That's all I got to say.
Thank you for coming. Trooper, you have not ninja'd my thing. Flory.
Ninja it.
Ooh. I'll see. Hey all. You don't know me. I'm at Durgadon on Twitter. Praxagorth has me a foray to see me around here on Twitch, your friendly neighborhood Prax. I got to play Flory Winters, our wonderful, wonderful murderess that she is. And as for me, I love the little moments of like character, and you get to see all the little characters. I loved watching Lucky with the dude
With Leo. With Leo.
across, community building. I loved Artie and Ralphie. I loved Artie in just in general the vibe in which he's embodying this space. It feels real, and all of these characters like know each other. How well they know each other might be a question, but they all know each other, and it's a lot of interaction, and I can't wait to see what happens next. As for me, you get to see me not on Wednesday because we will not have the long retreat this week. The GM has some stuff to do, but we will be back on Saturday, this Saturday, for the next episode of A Song of Agapia's Fortune. And I would just like to say that my players made a choice. They made a choice, and now there are consequences to that choice. Hey, Pope, how many spell slots does your wizard have left?
3 second levels.
Nothing.
Yeah, they're 14th level characters. I want to remind you all, they are 14th level characters, and this wizard has 3 second level spell slots left.
To be fair, it has been a long evening.
It has been a very, 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 very long evening. But that's Saturday night, and that'll be a lot of fun. And then Sunday night, we'll be back with the premiere of season 4 of Witcher Road's Home. There are some interesting things going on at the beginning of season 4. And one of those interesting things is, I'm going to go ahead and announce it because I didn't get to on Wednesday. We are going to begin with a guest for season 4. Guest, would you like to tell everyone all about it?
Sure. Yeah, they're going to Mahakam to start season 4. And
finally,
Mahakam's got a lot of things going on. It's got mining, it's got decent food,
a water slide.
Don't know about the water slide, but I do happen to know a weaponsmith named Doran. Who I think you'll all be meeting.
Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
That's going to be interesting.
Yes, it is.
What was the part that you liked about today?
The little character moments, particularly Lucky with Leo, and Artie with Ralphie. All the little things.
Did we ninja you?
Yeah, that was my thing.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
I would add though that the other part was Lucky in the kitchens, but yeah.
Yeah, also that.
Yeah, no. Hey everybody, Pope here. Welcome, Raiders. We're just wrapping up all you wonderful Lindyites who have just come in. Thank you so much. Hey everybody, Pope here, Pope World on Twitter, Pope World on Twitch. I look at all your streams. I absolutely adore this game and this crew. Just seeing Flory again, do the thing that young Mediterranean women do when they're hanging out with the older guys. And just again, Simon, that we're doing the thing that I love the most about RPGs, which is setting up a place, and it feels very real, very honest. Like, it has the good, the bad, the ugly. It's a giant mix of things. Just that note of, he took the 363. Just that little thing means so much in world building. It's those small little details that keep building up. They're like little Lego blocks. And hell, that beautiful moment with Leo earlier, and like, okay, we know this. We have all met Leo at least one point in our lives. The guy who is just out in his boxer shorts, really shouldn't be, but is, and has nothing to do today and just really wants a conversation, and is just going to insert himself into your life. We have all met that guy. So having that be part of the world, just like the jungle feels very lived in. We got the feel of Diane's place, the people that frequent it. We got that today with Silvio's, and I'm just looking forward to what happens next, because I think we're going to Montreal board and getting to see Lucky's neck of the woods, and I am so stoked. As for where you can see this silly face, well, aside from Saturday and Sunday, where I follow Prax around like a pug puppy, you can see me tomorrow night over on Lost Caravan RPG, doing a one shot of Mass Effect.
Ooh.
The fan made 5e rules. Feels like we're going to be doing a Mass Effect 2 story. We're all level 11, and I have decided in my infinite wisdom to be that group's combat medic. It's going to be a time.
Okay, so I have to ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I have to ask, right? We all have to ask. Human? Taurian?
There were, I will say, of the cast, we have an unshackled AI hologram. We have a Quarian.
Mm-hmm.
We have an Elcor.
Oh, okay.
And I am playing the human
Excited.
N7 certified combat medic.
Nice.
Because there has to be the one. And so I drew the straw. But yeah, come see this engineer probably have a time. But I will say, for the fans who actually sat down and made all this, it is obviously done with love and care for the setting, and they have wrung everything out of 5e's engine that you could possibly wring out. And from somebody who plays a lot of games, I love you all for it. And so definitely tune in. That is tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern, over on Lost Caravan RPG. And yeah, see me in those other places as well. And thank you all so much for being here for a live YouTube Story is Nothing Without Its Audience. You're much part of this VR. Take care of yourselves while there. See you around.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. I don't know why you're all waving. I still have my outro to do. Jeebus. Well, my moment was ninja'd, so that's that, I guess. But thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, players, for taking time on Monday. I think I said that already. You can find me over on Laugh Love Lindy this Wednesday for Upon the Exhamshire Moors. where I play Lord. What's my name again?
Brazelton.
Lord Roland Brazelton, who's about to get drafted into the military, and
As
now
an
apparently,
officer.
yeah, as an officer. And
Did you buy your
now-
commission or
Wait, yeah, you can't be drafted as
Uh,
into the British Army as an officer.
Yeah, that was a weird thing, but it makes sense.
The militia rules say that they can get whatever they want, and he is a noble and they need officers. So he's going to have to go and get a commission.
Yeah.
The Lord Lieutenant is
I'm
he
being
needs to buy his
forced
commission?
as a. Yeah, it sucks, but I also have a new elderly person on my kill list. Because that's what I do.
Are you
in the
killing the elderly?
yes. Everybody who's old dies.
Yeah, so far all of our like older NPCs have died. Like if you're over 60 in that village, it's over. I'm not saying 60 is old, but like that's pretty much the ceiling for Barton Mills.
I just have to ask the two of you: are you just doing like Midsummer Murders then? Because almost every single one of those people's victims are 50 plus.
Look,
In my defense, I didn't do it on purpose the first time.
the census came out, which said that over half of the population of the UK at this time was under 20 years old, and we're just working to try to make sure that we keep those
Yeah.
averages right.
It's because
That's it.
we know about all the problem with like early child death and all that.
Yeah.
And we want to kind of like
Yeah.
level the playing field. Anyway,
Yeah.
but that's on Wednesday. I will be a little late for this episode, but I will be there. Then on Thursday is episode 4 of Hill Horror Country here on Wandering DM. Stuff got real. There's just sludge everywhere and mist that throws bricks, and nothing is what it seems in Texas, and apparently doing drugs just makes things even worse. So that's our PSA.
All my
And then-
exes live in Texas. It's a song.
Okay, I don't get
It's a country song. It was
I'm uncultured. Then on Saturday, we are off for Scion for this week. We'll be back next week with what might be. We don't have seasons on Scions, but it pretty much feels like a season finale. They're about to fight a being that everyone knows as the Balrog, which is a child of the Titan Balor, and the fate of quite a number of dead souls hang in the balance. I will not be there for The Witcher on Sunday. I will be back at some point, surprise, but that is because I have a lot of writing left to do and I need to power through it. So that is that for us this week. Thank you everyone for coming, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.